The single life has finally come to an end. Tell All Part 2 aired last night, and we've got plenty to talk about. But I've just got to let you know, folks, when I'm speaking through my mic, I'm going to sound consistently at this level. But some of the footage that I have for you guys, some of it is going to sound crisp as normal, and some of it is going to sound a little bit more lower volume than normal. So please do proceed with caution regarding your volume levels, because you may find that when you turn up your volume to hear some of the segments parts where the volume is a bit simmered down accidentally, just bear in mind whenever I go back to this mic, your volume levels will probably be like, whoo! You'll be like, wait, how did you get loud again? So just bear that in mind. So some of the footage is a bit off key. And I do apologize for that, but I thought I'd give you a fair warning beforehand. Now, with that being said, let's not waste any more time and let's dive into the things that we have to talk about that went down at the tell-all. And we're going to begin with Kimberly and Liz.
Oh, that kind of changes things with me. Because, like, how can I trust you? How do I know things I'm telling you weren't telling my son?
God, it's just crazy.
Did this happen before I told you about the adoptions?
Yes. And I never told Jamal anything. Anything you've ever shared, I've never said anything. Nothing.
So last week when Kimberly found out that Liz had slept with Jamal, she made a whole big deal out of it. And I was thinking, she's taking this really out of proportion. And then I figured out why. Because you see, all Kimberly cared about was the pillow talk that Jamal and Liz would be having. And as you heard, she specifically asked, did this happen around the same time I basically told you about the adoptions? Which means that she told Liz about the adoptions before she told her own son, Jamal. I do wonder though, how many people over the years that she has told regarding her other children, but never wanted to tell Jamal in that whole process, when realistically, everyone that she told over the years, none of them needed to know this information more than Jamal. Just imagine that, finding out that over these years your mom kept this secret from you, and not only did she keep it secret from you from telling other people, but then she even told Liz, somebody who she met from a TV show. Yes, fair enough, they may be friends, but let's just let that sink in. Someone that was newer to her life than Jamal has ever been. Someone that's newer to her life than maybe some of her siblings or family members. Someone that she's known for literally, what, a couple of years. And she went and told Liz before Jamal even knew. Tells you even more the type of person that Kimberly is. She is so surprised when people don't like her. It's wild. But at the same time, she's desperate for people to like her. And when I say people, I'm talking about us, the viewers. She hates it when we call her out for her BS. But she's always trying to thrive and find ways to make us try and make her likable, make us like her. Does she not understand that everything that she does in life is just unlikable, because that's just who she is, an unlikable person? As harsh as that may sound and how harsh as that may seem, but understand this, folks, as long as Kimberly continues to be this victim mentality person, she will never be likable. If she can one day look in the mirror and hold herself accountable, say, you know what, I need to stop playing victim and I need to start taking accountability for all of my things, head on, chest up, everything, that's when a character of her own will build where people will start to actually genuinely like her. But hey, give me your thoughts on that one. Either way though, what do you think about the fact that Liz knew before Jamal about the adoption? And what do you think about Kimberly not being upset about the fact that Liz slept with her son, but using it as an excuse to be upset with Liz because she assumed that Liz had broken girl code by telling Jamal, which she obviously didn't, by telling Jamal about the adoptions. And Lord knows what other secrets that she has kept from Jamal as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But with that being said though, let's move on to the next part of the segment, also involving Liz again, because Liz has been nothing but a train wreck.
I did love you. I knew I was falling in love with you.
Now in this whole thing situation here where she's telling Vaya that she did love him, she also said to him that I just felt that you needed to know this. Why did he need to know that you loved him if you... Oh, no. She said that she was starting to really, fully, truly fall in love with him. And she just felt the need for him to know this, even though she's now engaged with somebody else. Why is it relevant how you felt about Vaya when you've now moved on and got engaged with somebody else? Make that make sense. But let's continue.
I felt the same. I mean, I couldn't even tell you that, of course.
What would have happened if you did?
Wow.
And the fact that he responded by saying that obviously I couldn't tell you for obvious reasons. And then she says, well, if you had told me this, then maybe things could have been different. Huh? Your fiance is sitting right next to you and you're saying that if this man had told you how he felt about you regarding love, then maybe things may have been different? See, Liz, just like him, she's just one of those people that she just doesn't have a likable personality because she goes about things in snaky ways. She goes about things in just ways just not kind. No wonder why her and Kimberly are so close, because they're just mean people. They're just unkind people. They're just people who only see themselves as never being in the wrong. They're both just narcissists. But yet they'll both happily sit there and call out every other person. Oh, yeah.
You were being really understanding and great, and I was thinking I wish like Pedro would have been how you are, because then we could have ended up in a relationship if he was like that, but you...
And then we have Sophie chiming in on the conversation and saying that, hey, if only Pedro was as patient as Liz's now fiance, then maybe Sophie and Pedro could have been together. Hold on a minute. Let me get this straight. So if Pedro had been patient enough to wait for Sophie to go and date several guys, kiss several guys, eventually she would have then realized that she wanted to be with Pedro, and then therefore his patience would have been rewarded by her being with him. The same way that Liz's now fiance was patient enough for her to go off and enjoy herself with Vey and God knows who else. Wow. You see the level of brain cells that we're witnessing right now on this stage, ladies and gentlemen. We got Kimberly and Liz, both narcissistic in their own ways that are similar. Then we got Sophie, another narcissist, again, in her own ways that's similar to Liz. What is going on with this triangle? But remember this, folks. But Sophie is the one that still had the audacity to get upset with Liz when Liz had a conversation with Pedro, even though Pedro was the one that twisted the words. You can't make this shiz up. But either way, why the hell is Sophie sitting there and saying, well, if Pedro had behaved the same way as Liz's now fiance, well, then we couldn't be together. Meanwhile, just like Liz, Sophie's got a whole ass boyfriend as well. Liz came on the show, sat there next to her fiance, telling her ex, Vea, that yes, I was falling for you, whilst he's there. Now Sophie is here. Now it's telling Pedro, if you had behaved the same way as Liz's man, I could have been with you. Whilst also she is now in a relationship with somebody else. What is wrong with these women? They are not making themselves look good in any shape or form. Wow. The level of just uckers behavior.
You sabotaged it.
This is respect. That's not respect.
I'm on a timeline.
So he sabotaged everything because he decided to show himself respect for himself. Pedro decided to sit there and say, you know what? I have self-respect for myself. I'm going to walk away from this situation. But the situation isn't good for me because I can't be waiting around for a woman that continues to go and dates other people. So I've got to move. I've got to bounce. He did the right thing, but no. In Sophie's eyes, he did what? He sabotaged. Like I said before, just like Kimberly, victim mentality. Sophie, Kimberly, Liz, same bloody person. Just all come from different locations. That's about it.
Pretty much, I would have to get pregnant, like right now, if we want kids, because I need to get a hysterectomy.
Wow.
Now, obviously here, Liz announces that if a baby was to be on the cards for her and her fiance, then obviously it has to be now, because we know due to her cancer, she needs to have a I can't even say the bloody word, but you heard the word, right? It's kind of crazy because we live in a life where women have to live by their biological clock anyway for the most part when they want children. But then also some women, that clock can also be cut short for different reasons. And obviously for Liz, this is one of those reasons. I mean, but at the same time though, I don't know too much about having a child in a situation where your body is fragile. But what I do know is that having a child takes a lot of stress on a woman's body. Historically, a lot of women used to lose their lives at childbirth. Historically, it has to happen a lot more than it happens today. We don't really hear about it today as much as it was once upon a time ago. But things are advanced now. So the question that I'd have for Liz in this situation is, well, not even a question, just more of a warning. Be careful. And make sure you do all the research possible before you try for a child at this fragile point your body is in. We don't know if her body's in remission. We don't know what's going on. But what we do know is that she needs to have his thing, so therefore her body can be in a better position. So having a child may not be the best choice. But hey, people will do whatever they want to do. But like I said before, the main thing is that she does research on it. Now, with that being said, let's move on to Gino.
Lexi, are you in a relationship with your baby?
This is where the volume goes a bit south with this clip and the next clip. I do apologize.
Daddy.
To be honest, I am not sure. I have asked him.
Oh, you are wearing red for a red flag, honey.
Do you have sex with him? We are in separate rooms.
But do you have sex?
No.
So Gino right now is not in a relationship with this woman, okay, but this is the woman that we saw him in the show with, and she is currently still living with her baby daddy. They have been broken up for 3 years, but she's still living with her baby daddy. And she claims that they are living in separate rooms, but yet doesn't know whether they're in a relationship or not. Anything that Gino is around, anything that happens to Gino is always just a cluster F. Like, make it make sense.
Are you in a relationship with Gino?
No, we are not.
My apologies, I forgot that it was a short clip. So I didn't see the point of this girl even coming on the show. They just wanted to give Gino a segment, and to be fair, there was a segment with Gino with Jasmine and Natalie going back and forth, but literally it was nothing new. It was literally everything that we've already seen him talk about time and 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 time again. So yeah, I thought I'd leave that out and just mention this little bit here. But either way, though, Gino seems to be in one hell of an interesting situation where, for some reason, he is in a relationship. Well, he's not in a relationship, but he's continuously speaking to a woman every single day that is still basically in a relationship with her baby daddy and still living with that man and clearly still bending over for him. He couldn't convince me otherwise. Anyway, Gino, whatever he does with his life, let him do it because it's not built to make sense to any one of us. Let's just call it what it is. Alright, cool. With that being said, let's move on to the next one, the last one. This one's all about Colt and Cortney. And I've got to say this. Cortney has really exposed herself to be one hell of a scum.
So, Phil and Cortney, you actually broke up.
Yeah.
And in that time, Cortney, did you have any communication with Colt?
I would reach out and check on him when he's in Brazil.
But why? You dumped the man because you found out that he was doing you dirty. So why are you checking up on him? What is Cortney's obsession with always having to check up on Colt?
After her birthday, she sent me a hi, and then we just started talking again, and we started going out again.
So let me elaborate on this situation of how Phil and Cortney decided to reconnect. So Phil and Cortney broke up. When they broke up, she decided to block Phil. Then decided to reach out to Colt. And then obviously she was trying to rekindle a friendship. Let's just say a friendship as she claims it to be. But nonetheless, though, she recognized that that was never going to happen. So what happened? She then decided to unblock Phil and then she started DM again. And then obviously now her and Phil are now back together and now they're engaged. So more of the story is, Phil, you're nothing but a pawn in her game. She came back to you because she has nobody else. It's as simple as that. Just a desperate attempt. Because she can't have her beloved Colt, she came back to you. She doesn't love you. She never will love you. She doesn't care about you. Well, maybe she cares about you, but love, yeah. Scumbag behavior by Cortney. But let's continue because it gets worse.
And I don't feel threatened by Colt at all. She just felt sorry for him.
A few weeks ago, another girl from Canada reached out that Colt was trying to her and like begging her to come to him.
So let's have a look. This girl says, Colt was literally DMing me weeks ago, practically begging for me to go to Canada to sleep with them, and I seen a clip of you, so thought you should know, girl. You deserve so much better than that. So I'm assuming obviously this is somebody that was watching the show and decided to DM Cortney saying this is what happened with her and Colt. Whether or not it is true or not, we don't know because there was never any proof behind it. Colt says that none of this ever happened. But let's continue though, because boy.
Wow. Chill out. I didn't do any of this.
A liar. Because she always messaging me.
Just to clarify, Diana says there that she says that Cortney is a liar. Let's continue.
Because she always messaging me for to say, you need to break up with him. Gianna, you need better. Hey, stay with me. And we decided everything again.
So as you can see here, more of the situation, Diana's come out to say that Cortney has been messaging her to tell her to get away from Colt. Colt is not good for her. But then in the same conversation, she's also letting her know that apparently there's another woman in Canada that also wants Colt as well. It seems to me as if Cortney is putting a lot of energy into trying to warn To be fair, the real word is sabotage Colt's relationship with Diana, but I'm going to say warn, just to be polite, okay? Here's the thing. Why are you putting so much energy in Colt's relationships? You have a whole man that has not proposed to you. Go enjoy your life. Leave him behind. Why does she always feel the need to always insert herself in Colt's life? Colt does not insert himself in her life. She's the one that invited him to come and live with her and Phil. She's the one that decided to go and pick him up at the airport, decided to move him from motel to motel, blah, 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 blah. Everything has always been by her choice. It's crazy because Colt is no saint, but I've noticed that there's a pattern here with Cortney. A lot of the time when things are happening between her and Colt, it's not necessarily because he's asked her, it's because she has volunteered and said, no, I'm going to do it for you regardless. And every single time she's asked, why are you doing this? She keeps using the simple excuse of, oh, because I feel bad for what I did in terms of the fact that he got injured because of me. That is nothing but a ruse, nothing but BS. This woman has a very strange obsession with Colt. It's just that simple. She needs to just move on, let him go, and do her thing. I can imagine that she has now, but who knows? But let's continue, because now this is a conversation. These texts here are regarding when Cortney decided to invite Colt to Mexico. Let's dive in. He says here, I wonder if I go to Cortney for like a week before my birthday. I have like 10 days before my birthday with nothing planned. Why are you messaging Colt this? Let's continue.
I wonder if we go to Mexico like a week before my birthday. Wow. And Colt says, if you go, I'll go. Part of the plan, Cortney mentions we all share a room. And Colt says he thinks separate is better.
Colt did say on Between the Sheets that he said that Cortney was trying to lure her in to say so it'd just be them two. He didn't believe this whole group thing was necessary. He believed that she was doing it just to get close to him again. That text message proves that. The girl was nothing but messy. Messy, messy, messy. Anything that Cortney has done over the years, let's just call it fake as hell. Because we don't know what's real and what's not when it comes to Cortney. She's just somebody who knows how to play a game where she manipulates everybody. We noticed that when she was on Hunt for Love, she would always try and be on everyone's side. She would go and tell one side one thing, then go back to another side one thing because she always wanted to be in the middle because she wants everybody to like her. The girl literally plays the board like it's nothing. Unfortunately, she's playing checkers with a bunch of people who don't know how to play chess, which is why they're all being played so stupidly. Bring on the board of chess. This girl will get destroyed with her madness. But listen, let's continue.
Oh. I didn't say to share the room with me. You did. You said you tried to interfere with your life at all. No, she's crying. She's upset. Apologizing, repeating behavior. Oh, wait, Vanya, no one told you to come over here. You said.
He makes a very point, Vanya. Why are you here? But at the same point, Cortney, why are you here? The tale was over. Let the man leave. Let him go and try and do what he got to do with his own relationship. She just can't leave him alone. She's always got to be in his business. She heard him on the phone, pretty much talking to Diana, trying to sort things out, and she comes over. Why are you here? Go away.
No, I never asked you for anything. You come here and ruin my life. Go away. Go to Philip. How about that? I'm trying to.
Remember, he also does categorically say that I never asked you for anything. But you keep coming back. Just go away. And that is a pattern that I recognized. A lot of the time, he didn't ask to give a shiz. On the tell stage, he was basically talking about how when they went and done things, he was paying for this, that, and the other, which, listen, is the bare minimum. I completely get it because she was giving him a home. But the question is, what was the intention of her giving him a home? She was trying to hope this man would stay with her. I don't know what it is about Cole, but she's got one hell of an obsession with him, and it's not healthy.
I'm not doing anything. Corey's still here. Rejected. Leave me alone. I apologized. I want to move on with my girlfriend.
I mean, listen, I never thought I'd be sitting here defending Colt, but hey, as much of a a-hole he is, Cortney is no better. This woman has had an obsession with this man, and this whole situation with her and him could end a long time ago, but she just keeps coming back time and time again. Messaging Diana that, hey, you shouldn't be with Colt. Why are you doing that? It's none of your business. Move on. You're literally got a whole man now. Then blocking your man to try and get Colt back in your bed or whatever the hell you're trying to do. Then unblocking your man because Colt rejected you again. Some people just don't see the signs. Some people refuse. At first I thought she was just a scorned woman, but she's not. She's just an obsessive person. It's madness. Absolute madness. Oh, am I tripping? Let me know your thoughts. Either way though, the tale has now come to an end, folks. It has now come to an end. So next week will be the beginning of The Last Resort. I hope that season can be better than the season of The Single Life. I'm not gonna lie to you. And to be honest with you, I was rather disappointed with part 2 of The Terror. It wasn't as good as part 1. I felt I was watching Stranger Things or Game of Thrones, or or The Boys, where it starts off so good and then the ending is just terrible. Literally, part 1 was so good, part 2 was just ugh. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for your time. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and yeah, have a good day. Yeah, peace.